What do we call this now? Can't I go live? I think I really don't understand what is going on. All right, let me see if I'm back. Okay, it's like I'm back. I don't know, the thing just went off. Okay, I greet every one of us. Anywhere you're watching us from, you are welcome. This wonderful day, I just want us to take a look in Kenya's do I say menace, government menace, because they will tell you that the people are menace. They are menace. Okay, now if you go back and look into Kenya, why I want us to watch this, I saw them on space. Kenyan president, Kenyan president engaging the people of Kenya in Twitter space. Like I said before, I want us to see how all this started in Kenya.
In a nation where voices once went unheard, the people of Kenya stood up to power.
Therefore, I will not sign the 2024 finance bill, and it shall subsequently be withdrawn.
Now, I just want us to see and compare yourself, those that believe they are Nigerians. You see the length Kenyans went, far they went to bring the man that claimed to be the president, the government. We are not talking about everything that went on, that happened, that took place in Kenya. You saw the president, the parastatals, the government, the senators, the governors, they were all running. You saw the police, the army, they were all running. They were all running away. For what? To save their life and to save what they believe to be their nation. At least these people believe in something. But in Nigeria, when they think to engage in anything, police will be there to give them pure water, and the same police will release bullets on them. Army will be there to tell them go on, oh, and the same army will shoot them. Let's see what these Kenyan people did to their president. This is presidential jet, Kenya. They burnt it. You know why they burnt the cake, the jet? They set the jet on fire because the president claimed the jet is faulty, and they shattered another private jet to travel to, is it America or United Kingdom? I don't know. But he shattered another private jet to travel. And they have one. Nigeria have, I don't know if it is up to 10 presidential jets. America have 2 or 1. Nigeria have 10. Maintaining all of them. Paying services for all of them. The youth are not talking. The youth are not saying anything. Well, I just want us to listen to the people of Kenya interacting with their president. If they ask him question, he will answer them. They deleted it. Okay, no. You see? No, they deleted it. They deleted it. Let me see.
Telling us ABC has done by her that give us transparency, not these are the people that just keep saying.
Okay, let me. Miller made a very passionate and I think correct analysis of what happened, now, especially of Kennedy, who died.
Now, if you see, they have blocked the space because all the what do you call it? All the Kenyan parastatus top government officials are in this space. So probably they blocked it because they don't want anybody to see them and see their names. So if you are looking at the space now, you will see that the space is just blunt, just empty. I just wanted to stream this space because I want us to see the people in this space. But I don't know if I should continue or if I should just stop. Don't know if I should continue or if I should just stop, because this wasn't the program I wanted to run, but due to because if you watch in the YouTube, they are still there. Why should they block it from the space? That's what I don't know. Why should they block it from the space is what I don't really know. Okay, it's fine. It's fine.
Obnoxious opulence, if I may say that, which does not just anger the public. Sometimes I call in some of those people and I give them a piece of my mind, because even Nyamu, I have had occasion to sit her down, and tell her, I mean, she needs to change what she's doing. And when you are in my position, you are also a father figure. Some of these young people, they get excited about many things, and sometimes they do the wrong things. And I want to tell you that I know somebody here mentioned Karen Nyamu. Karen Nyamu is a girl I've had to sit her down sometimes and tell her, look, she needs to do things differently. So I agree with you that, but I have also undertaken,
I don't know if I should continue with that program. Maybe I will have to shut down because I don't know why they will block it. They should block it from space. This is what they're doing now. If you look on the television, on the screen, you will see them pure on YouTube, but they blocked it. Actually, I have to search for the host from space. Probably they don't want it. They want it to go out from one source, I believe. They wanted to go out from one source, I believe. So I don't know. Let us just listen to the president addressing the people. If you look there, you will see him. He is this man here. That is the president of Kenya. But the thing there that you everybody should understand is that Nigeria and I don't know where this idea came from. I just don't know where the idea came from. But for the Kenyan president to humble himself and come down to the level of the people of Kenya that they are now interacting on the space is something that is something that is, I don't know. Honestly, the thing it shockalized me. It shockalized me. So I think since I began, let's listen to them for next 30 minutes maybe. Then I'll do another program.
I'll be here up to 5. I think it is now 5:15. And I have another assignment with our Olympics team that are coming to you. I have a bunch of wonderful Kenyans who are going to represent us in Paris. They are sitting somewhere outside my office. And with a lot of respect, I want to say to all the people who have asked me the very important questions, very
Mr.
difficult
President,
questions.
I have a final remark before you go. It's Kioti speaking here.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. President, before you continue, I'm Marvin Mabonga. I come from Kimilili constituency in Bungoma County. So, Mr. President, before you go, I want to let you know that
The why, like I said before, I want us to listen to this because it's very important for your president to sit down. This is not a press statement, a press conference. No, he came to the space, sat there. Everybody, I was there listening. Before I said, let me just stream it, and immediately I began to stream it. They removed it from space. So, but they are live on on the YouTube. So if you listen, I will encourage everybody to go back and listen. I don't know, yeah, I don't know how long because but I've been there for at least an hour. So I don't know how long they have been there. But go and listen the way they ask him questions and he answers the questions. I pass you no day. Do you know why? Because the people of Kenya have brought him to a point of humility. They have brought him down to the place that you go understand that now we rule, now we own the land. This is government of the people, by the people, for the people, not government of one man for the people against the people. But Nigerians, when they want to do protest, they go begin the dance, they go begin the play music, they go begin the cooking dummy for middle of the road. And that is why they will come and shoot at them without mercy. That is why they will tear gas you, beat you, even kidnap you on top. Even the dead bodies of those they murdered have not been recovered, have not been seen, have not been buried. Or maybe they have thrown them into lagoons or fed them to crocodiles, animals. Nobody knows. But because these people have proven to the Kenyan government that this land is our land, that we are the people that decide our affairs, then the Kenyan government have to come down to their knees and open their ears to listen to what the people say. You don't wake up in the morning and impose tax on people. You don't wake up in the morning to divide some people and call them name. You call them Ukwama, you call them Anyama, you call them Aniolo, call them whatever you want. You don't wake up in the morning and divide some group of people to go this side, this go. You are now a different cause. It doesn't happen. Everything should happen accordingly. Kenyans say no, and they stood on their no. When una we claim say una be Nigeria say no, una dey stand, una no go stand because una no be human beings. That is why Buhari called them lazy Nigerians. Look at Buhari calling people lazy Nigerians. You know, no say that one don't pass. Let's listen to them.
In your cabinet, currently we are having so many incompetent cabinet secretaries. For instance, let me give you an example of your friend, Kipchumba Murkomen. Kipchumba Murkomen did law. He has never been in any law firm in this country. He has never won any case. But currently, he's heading the Ministry for Road and Transport. My question is, between where is the conjunction between the Ministry of Transport and a lawyer? In that department, you should be putting there a person who has done even civil engineering, who knows so much about construction. Lastly, the Minister for Agriculture, that person, he even doesn't have a bachelor's. We all know this information. We have the government's website and we Google, we see this information. So, Mr. President, if you are going to give us those people who are incompetent, then we are totally doomed. You know, when we elected you as the president, normally they say, you set a thief to catch a thief. But this time round, when we elected you, Mr. President, that you can help us now catch those people who are corrupt in this nation, you're just there laughing with them. Look at Oscar Sudi. He's flaunting with 20 million in a bag in a public forum. I'm even told that there is one of the cabinet minister who was caught in Dubai with 20 million cash, and you actually came through him, so he wasn't taken to a court somewhere or arrested. You know that, Mr. President. Personally, where I sit, I want to pay my rent by 10th. But because I finished campus, I don't have any job anywhere. I'm just here in the city seated. I will not be able to pay that rent because you promised to give us the jobs. But when we elected you, you are now telling us that in the next 1 year, we are not going to employ.
I believe I beg you the listen. This is Kenyan people interacting with their president, talking to him one-on-one on space, asking him questions. Why have you not given us job? Why are you sending police to kill us? And he had promised here that show me one single policeman you marked that brutalized you, we will bring him to justice. He promised in this place, and he will do it because he wants to save his face by all means. But what I want you to ask yourself is, can this ever happen in Nigeria? If what has transpired in Kenya were to be in Nigeria, I know by now, I don't know if I should say thousands should have been missing. Either they are dead or they have been brutalized, broken legs and heads and bodies, and the disappearance. But look at them asking him, Mr. President, you promised to give us a job. We are out of school. Now we don't have job. I don't have money to pay for house rent. Let's listen to the question. Let's listen.
With the youth, Mr. President, do you think that one is not a lie? Lastly, the other day you said when you are questioned about the boy who was shot, you didn't know whether he was alive or dead. But now you know that the person who shot that boy is not the police officer. Mr. President, do you think that is a reality? That one is not a reality. I'm very angry because I'm very angered person because every time we get to those public offices, we are treated like trash. And that's why the other day I was even on the forefront. You can watch the videos. I was on the forefront in those protests to demand for my right. And now here, Mr. President, you are just taking us through the corners. You are not even going straight to the point. Kindly go straight to the point. When you are asked about the person who is corrupt, you say, this person is corrupt. He has been working with millions of money. Tell us Omanga bought 60 with 50 million a vehicle which he is flaunting now on social media. Apart from that, tell us that this fertilizer was fake, even as much as it was dropped from 7,000 to 2,000, it is full of soil. So why are we playing games with the public money, with the money that our mothers and fathers are going through sweat to get it, Mr. President? Wherever we are not happy. And of course, if these things are going to happen this way, then come 2027, we are going to come out in large numbers, Mr. President. We'll take votes and we'll take those people home, including you. If at all you're not going to fight for our own rights as your people in this nation. Thank you so much. I'm very angered, Mr. President.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you,
Did you hear the way he told the president his own peace of mind? And did you hear anybody kill him, shoot him? No. This is where people have decided to take it by themselves, for themselves, on themselves. Because they now know and they have come to understand that this is government of the people, by the people, for the people. Listen to the response of the president.
my friend Martin.
This is Kenyan president, Dr. Ruto, William Samuel Ruto. He is there live. If you go to YouTube, you will see him. On the space, they blocked it from the space. So I don't know. So listen.
I understand your anger, and you are perfectly in order to be angry because the situation where you're out of university without a job is something that I have lived through myself. In fact, when I finished university, I did not get a job until I was elected as a member of parliament. But that's not for another day. But let me tell Martin that next week, for example, as part of our housing program, just hold on. As part of our housing program, we will be hiring 3,600 professionals like yourself. I want to challenge you, Martin. There will be an advertisement next week for engineers, architects, quantity surveyors, and many in the construction field, because we are looking for people who are going to work with our professional firms in our housing program. Let me also tell you, Martin, that we need to separate the issues that are correct and the issues that are fake news. The issue of some minister being found in Dubai, I don't know, last week, with $200 million or something, is fake news. That is not true. On matters to do with people you have mentioned were in different areas, today, I am here as a scientist, right? And many other people are doing many things from fields they did not necessarily train in. Because at a certain level, it is a management issue. It is a leadership issue. It is an issue about leading an organization. So I have heard you on some of the incompetent people you have said, some of the corrupt people you have said. I have listened to you. But let me say this to the public. Of the fertilizer that we supply to the Kenyan public, almost 6 million bags, 20,000 bags were the ones with a challenge. We isolated the 20,000 bags. It is not even 1% of the fertilizer that we supplied to the Kenyan public. I do not want an impression to be created as though the fertilizer we supply to the people of Kenya in millions had any challenge. And when we detected a problem with the 20,000, we not only recalled the ones that had not been sold, but we made sure that
our Nini is on Google Map.
I made sure that any farmer who had used fertilizer that was not correct was compensated. They were given an extra bag of fertilizer for them so that they don't end up in losses. I have heard you, Martin, as I have heard all the good people here. But let me say this in closing. This feedback is very
close, but
Kindly, can I also have an opportunity to speak, Mr. President, before you finish?
Acha kwanza niongee wewe
Janet. If you can be if you can be brief, so that
yeah, I am brief. I am talking in Kiswahili ndio uelewe haraka haraka.
Ndio.
Kitu ya kwanza
Order guys.
Is anyone speaking, or can I speak? Osama?
You can speak.
Okay. First of all, good evening, Mr. President and everyone here.
Good evening, my dear.
Okay. So my name is Jeanette Brenda, and I don't have any questions because I feel like the people have asked questions before, umewapeleka around and
Okay, sorry. Sorry, Jeanette, I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
You're on mute, Jeanette. Maybe we'll get one more, then the president closes. There was one more person who really wanted to speak. Now, if I may, you go ahead, please.
Yeah, so good evening, and thank you, Mr. President, for agreeing to come to address the nation here on space. So I have two questions I'm going to ask really quick because of time. The first question is that, Mr. President, the rules of carbon credit were being developed by the Ministry of Environment, but as youth
which was all
Meaning these abductions are very illegal.
Were on the river. I mean, it was the best that I could do in that circumstance. And I promised them that under our housing program, because we now have their list, under our housing program, we are going to consider them the first beneficiaries of our social housing program. I made that commitment in public. If you ask our peers for housing, they already have the data on these Kenyans who were removed from the riparian reserve, who had to be relocated for their own safety. For your information, we lost many Kenyans who were sleeping there, but they were carried by the floods. And it was the best thing that I could do. I went there in person. My minister was there consistently. I had 3 different cabinet meetings to attend the issue. We committed close to 400 million to make sure that those Kenyans who were in that situation were attended to. Maybe it wasn't enough. Maybe I should have done more. Maybe then I should apologize for not doing more. But to the best of my ability, it is the first time the government of Kenya is providing money to relocate people who have been affected in situations like the one in the flood.
Okay, Mr. President, on the issue of Githurai, you said there was only one casualty, which is a lie. Mr. President, acha kwambia tu kweli. Githurai inasemekana there are more than 200 people who were shot dead. Wengine hata wajulikani mahali wako saizi vile tunaongea ukweli saizi. In Rongai, they shot some guys pia. Wakakuficha wakakwambia ni mtu mmoja. Na ni ukweli reality kwa ground watu walikuwa wanauliwa. Ina ni ukweli watu walikuwa wanauliwa. Tulikuwa huko, wote tulikuwa maandamano. Alafu kuna issue nyingine. This rogue cop amekuwa akichapa watu risasi, anachapa watu risasi open air, kila mtu ana camera there. The DCI doesn't do anything about it. Amekuwa all over social media, in the media, but you don't even say a word about him. His name is Murangiri. That killer cop ameua watu. Watu wanazikwa kila siku sababu yake. Juzi ilikuwa last week Wednesday nilikuwa town. Nilimwona akitembea tu town vizuri along Moi Avenue, very happy, very healthy. He's a killer cop. Nothing has been done to him. Hivi vitu tumekuwa tucomplain tangu kitambo. For how long should we be talking about this? About the killer cops?
Sorry.
You can go ahead, Mr. President.
My good brother, you know, it is good to be brutally honest. And I will not, as president, or even as a Kenyan, ever say anything that is not factual, especially on a very serious matter of people losing lives. Are you saying 200 people were killed in Githurai? Really? I mean, my friend, I mean, where are can the family step forward? People who are saying our members of our family are missing. They went to Maandamano or they went to picket and they did not come back. 200 people is not a joke, my friend. So I really want to plead with you. I am sorry to tell you, you have wrong numbers. I'm sorry to tell you that. It is
Mr.
not
President,
possible.
we even have the names. It's all over social media. Hata saizi tunaweza post, tunaweza soma hizo
What about
majina.
social media? I want to offer
We
you.
have the names.
I want to
Even the
offer you.
faces. We have the faces
Tomorrow,
and the
I
names.
want to offer you to bring the names and family members of the people who are saying their loved ones are not there. Don't even take them anywhere. Bring them to State House. Them family members who are saying, I have lost so and so. My fellow, a member of my family was there on Monday last week. He went to Maandamano and he didn't come back. And where possibly are the bodies? You know. So I mean, really, my good friend, it is just good to be. You know, we are dealing with a very serious issue. Please let us not use information that is not verified. It just helps to create a situation that is not correct.
Mr. President, I have another question too. Kindiki yesterday.
Otero, tupatie wengine nafasi, at least you're co-host.
Ya mwisho alafu nimuulize alafu ni ad mwingine. Mr. President, jana Kindiki alisema guys were being arrested, not abducted. When a guy is arrested, it means the area police station or the area OCS or CPD is aware. When I was arrested, Parkland's deputy OCPD was not aware. Meaning these abductions are very illegal. Right?
Let me say the following on matters of abduction. You know, First, let us agree first that the era of extrajudicial killing is no longer with us. There is a new problem called abduction. And it is something that I am going to exercise my mind on, because the police have clear rules of how to arrest citizens if they have to arrest citizens. There is a clearly stipulated procedure on how that is done. And if anything is done outside the procedure, then it is illegal and it is punishable. So when the police arrest somebody, they must declare to that person that they are policemen, they are arresting this person for this and that and that and that, and they take him to a place that is known. So that is a matter that I will take up and I will deal with it.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. President. Otero, tuko na wewe bado utauliza maswali, naona umeanza wewe ni Otero, so unaamua vile utafanya, but patia watu wengine chance. We
Okay.
have we'll take
Wakili
three.
Saruni. Can you add Wakili Saruni?
We'll take 3 people, 3 at a time faster. We have I'll bring in Alai, followed by Edith, followed by Gray, and then you can give Wakili after that 4. So again,
Hussein, I really don't think Alai should speak, because his comments will be biased. This space is basically about what we are going through in the street. Alai doesn't know about it. In short, Alai amekuwa kiongea mbaya kwa hili story ya maandamano. I really don't think
Alai can speak for himself. We can't limit anybody from speaking. Everybody has the freedom to speak here.
No, Alai is very bad.
So
thank you.
Let's have
Gray Mara can speak, but Alai, no, he hasn't been against this.
Thank you. Otero, I've been an advocate of freedoms for a very long time, especially when we don't agree. So I would ask you to learn that lesson, that you should listen to people, especially when they don't agree with you. And that's what the president is trying to do here. We don't agree with him, and that's why we want him to listen to us, and he agreed to come to the space. And moving forward, I really want to tell the president that, Mr. President, you know that your success is our success, and we really want you to succeed. The problem is that I don't know if you really want yourself to succeed as a president of Kenya. Because from the moment you got to be the president, there are things you did which I think just sabotaged your presidency. When you decided to say that you are not going to listen to intern doctors, I said, does the president know what he's doing? Because he's touching the hearts of Kenyans. These are the people who spend most of their time in public hospitals. When the president didn't take up the matter of pending bills and tell the counties and the national government to pay the pending bills, you know that one is touching the middle class, the working class. And these are the people who mobilize their children, called Gen Zs. And they came out and said no. When you removed Linda Jamii, when we interfered with Edu Afia, when we saw your friends and very close associates working with bands of money, 10, 20 million in churches, Mr. President, I think you sabotage your own presidency. And that's why I ask myself that the president really tells us that he means well for the country. But is he really meaning well for himself? Because unless somebody else is the president who is doing all these things, the second and last question, because I don't want to spend more time, I'm an elected official in Nairobi, Mr. President, is the issue of Nairobi on-source revenue, which we have asked, we have investigated, we have been taken around. Mara, it was KRA which is collecting that money. We have taken to office of the president. Finally, we were told that it's being collected in State House by some agency. We can't get, I'm the vice chairman of ICT in Nairobi City County Assembly. But nobody knows who is collecting revenue for Nairobi City County, Mr. President. It really saddens me, because if that revenue was collected in a transparent and verifiable manner, then you know, Mr. President, some of these bills would be taken up by the counties and it will not come to you in the national government so as to pay those bills, Mr. President. Those are the only questions which I had. Thank you.
Thank you, Alai. Edith?
Yeah, thank you for the chance to ask a question.
Edith,
Hello.
are you with us? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, let's go to Gray if Edith is not responding.
Hello, hello, hello.
All right, thank you so much.
Hello.
Hussein, this is Grayson. Hussein, can you hear me? Oteru unanisikia?
I can hear Eddie and I can hear the other gentleman.
I'd like to ask my
All right,
question if you can all hear
Okay,
me.
let's have one person speak. Gray speak.
All right, thank you so much, Hussein. Edith, I'm sorry. So, Your Excellency, my name is Grayson Marwa. My question to you is one, and my question is on this very, very emotive and very, topic that we love talking about as a country, which is corruption. I know you stand on corruption. You have spoken about it many times. You don't condone corruption. You don't want corruption to happen in your government. But then I want to point out something. Recently, there was a scandal, with the fertilizer, and the CS was, impeached, or a motion was tabled in the National Assembly by a member of parliament for him to be impeached. But what happened later is that, the same members of parliament from your political party, the UDO party, went ahead and saved this particular cabinet secretary. What does that speak, to your stand regarding corruption? Do you support corruption on one hand, but on the other hand, because he is your CS, these are your members of parliament, they go ahead and flop that motion that was supposed to impeach this particular cabinet secretary? My last question, as a young person, there is a challenge of jobs in this country. But a month ago or so, in the day list, there was a freeze that the public service is not hiring anymore. What are you trying to tell young people? Yet you say each and every day you want to ensure that we give jobs to these young people who go to school but don't have jobs out here. People are, forced to do things that they shouldn't be doing and they went through the education system. If I can get a response to those two issues, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
Grayson,
Do I
unaweza rudia
answer?
question please?
Do I answer those, or I thought we said we take three people? Can we take maybe Eddie? Eddie was somewhere. There is a lady called Eddie was somewhere or something.
Edith Kimani.
Otero, from my end, I see she's a listener. Maybe you can add her to speak from what I'm able to see on my end.
Okay.
As we wait for the engagement, can I proceed and answer?
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. Alai has mentioned three things. Mr. Alai, I want to tell you, Mheshimiwa, that I am acutely clear that even if I don't succeed, I want Kenya to succeed. The one thing that I am very clear about is what do we do to change the status of many Kenyans? Intern doctors. There was a long conversation with intern doctors. I made sure that they were attended to. I met the leadership of the intern doctors myself, finally, and we did make an agreement on how to sort out the intern doctor situation, including I have factored in this budget with their concurrence. When I agreed with them, we were supposed to sort out their arrears in 3 years. I offered to sort them out in 1 year after I engaged with them, and the money is in the budget. As I talk to you, I have even today decided that even with a cut of the finance bill, I will still make sure that they are sorted out. The issue of pending bills. My good brother, we have pending bills in the region of 650 billion. It is the reason why I appointed Mr. Ouko, our former Auditor General, to interrogate all the pending bills for purposes of making sure that we can pay them. In fact, one of the items that I listed this afternoon, which was also in the budget, is a provision for us to begin the journey to sort out pending bills, because it is crippling businesses of people, it is destroying enterprises of Kenyans because government is not paying. The third thing that you have said about Linda Mama or Linda Jamii and Eduafia, I have done three things. Maybe the explanation. Let me give you the explanation on Linda Mama. Am I audible?
Yes, you are, Mr. President. Sorry about that.
What we are doing is, under our universal health coverage, I promise the people of Kenya that we need to ensure that we don't leave other Kenyans behind. Under our universal health coverage, in which this year we now have a budget for it, we are going to scale up the benefits of Linda Mama. That is why we have brought it, we have scaled it up into universal health coverage. We want it to reach more Kenyans. That's number one. Number two, we want to enhance the benefits. The benefits were 2,500 for women giving birth in hospital, in smaller hospitals, 5,000, and maximum of 17,000. We have now changed that. From 2,500, we have moved the benefit to 11,000. And we have moved the upper benefit to 32,000. That is not a derogation. That is an upgrading of Linda Mama. Number two, Edu Afia. What we are doing with Edu Afia is that we are universalizing the universal health is universalizing insurance, so that every Kenyan, and you know, I made this absolutely clear, and that is why we have changed the law, so that not just the students who are in school, but every Kenyan, even those who are not in school, will now be beneficiaries of our chief social health. We, instead of having NHIF, we are now going to have social health insurance fund, which is going to cater for everybody, to universalize access. So on both cases, Mr. Alai, we are not derogating, we are upgrading and making sure that universal health is available to many Kenyans. Finally, on Nairobi, on source of revenue, I thought I heard the governor say the other day that he had increased it, he had raised more revenue than was ever raised. I'm not sure about that. But I want to tell you that that is a Nairobi County affair. You, Mr. Alai, should not be asking me. The public should be asking you, because you are the person. You are the person responsible. You are the representative of the people. You should answer that question. You should be the one to interrogate the county government. It is your responsibility of oversight. It is your responsibility of representation. It is your responsibility of legislation. You should legislate how the county resources are raised. You should oversight the county government to collect it. I just want you to take up your job and do it. Let me, Gray Marwa has asked me two very important questions. Marwa, these are very important questions about corruption. Let me say the following, just three things first. Number one, I said before that corruption must be dealt with firmly and decisively. And that is why my act number one in office, the two acts that I did in office when I came into office was number one, to make sure that I give financial autonomy to the police so that they can pursue corruption to the extent possible, and that they don't have to come back to me, and nobody in my office will control the police in as to who they want to prosecute. That's number one. And I signed, and the budget of the police is run by the IG at the moment, and they are free to go after everybody. That's number one. Number two, I made sure that the judges that had been denied the opportunity to serve and to empower our judiciary. I signed them, and I made sure that they have been gazetted and they went to work. I did not stop there. I have enhanced the budget of the judiciary from 18 billion to this year. I wanted to be at 25 billion. Unfortunately, it may come down because of the finance bill by about $1 billion or so. Number 3, I am the president who has sworn in the highest number of judges in 2 years in the history of Kenya. I have sworn in maybe 46, almost 50 judges, because I have agreed with the judiciary that justice delayed is justice denied. And therefore, I want to make sure that becomes the case. Number 4, on the specific incident of what happened with fertilizer, I want to tell you, as I tell the people of Kenya, those where evidence has been gathered, sufficient evidence has been gathered, they are in court. The CEO, the general manager, and 7 other staff of the National Cereals and Produce Board are already in court. The minister was taken to parliament to answer for political responsibility, that to make sure that his oversight role was in question. I want to tell you this, Gray, that we are a country of the rule of law. When a person has been, when allegations are made against a person and they are not verified, there is no way that such person can be held to account. But when they are verified, like the case of the officers who worked under the minister that were verified, they are in court. I want to tell you, if a minister, if a principal secretary, if there are verified allegations of corruption against any cabinet minister and or any principal secretary, the day they are taken to court, I will fire them. I will not wait for the court process, because there will be an element of confirmation that these are people who are corrupt. Let me talk about jobs. And you have said correctly that the public service has issued a circular that there will be, there is a freeze on jobs. The public service has a freeze on jobs at different levels. People who are employed at entry level, and the space around jobs is huge. Government can only hire a very small fraction. My intention, my plan is to make sure that government facilitates the economy, facilitates the private sector, facilitates the entire enterprise space to create more jobs. It is the reason why I made a deliberate commitment to the people of Kenya when I went for the elections, and I said I will focus on creating jobs. And if you want me to explain to you the areas where I am focused on creating jobs, I will. If you want me to tell you how many jobs I have created in the 2 years that I have been in office, I will tell you, from housing, from digital jobs, from going to manufacturing, all the way to export of labor. I will tell you how many jobs I have created, and I have every intention to make sure that as many Kenyans as possible have an opportunity to have an income so that they can contribute meaningfully to the development of our country. Thank you.
Ling, you can speak.
Thank you very much for this chance to maybe ask some few questions to the president. I'll be very brief. I only have 3 questions to make. One, Mr. President, is that like most of the people have said, is that your government is full of lies because of one. I want to put it clear that when Finance Bill 2023 was passed, we believe that the revenue that was going to be collected during that period were going to be used for development. Personally, I come from a Masab constituency, and on February of last year, yes, CS for Transport, Bwana Murkomen, came to Kabiet Shrines and promised us that there is a road down there that's going to down from Kurgung to Chepterway, coming down to Kapkatembu. He said personally that since that this is a road that was left midway by the contractor, he was going to send the contractor in a record 3 months to be on site so that the road can continue so the contractor can start the construction. Up to now, we still haven't seen that. So that basically tells you that that is a liar. Number two, I think the Gray has talked about the issue of fertilizer. You've said, Mr. President, that if you find that there is a case against the said minister, you're going to fire him. There's a case that has been filed by the Law Society of Kenya against the Minister of Agriculture. If kindly we can tell the minister to step aside so that trying to investigate someone who is in office becomes very hard. So let the minister step aside so that we can continue with the investigation. Number three, I would want to talk about the arrogance that is in your government. I have heard Mr. President say that the issue of Finance Bill 2024 was, I think it was packaged in a way that maybe you should have done it better. Yes, you should have done it better. The reason being, the people you sent out there, since like the MP for Molo, on the issue of the motor vehicle levy, at some point in the TV, he told people that, if you cannot be able to pay that, just leave your vehicle at home. That is the arrogance that was being displayed. The leader of majority in parliament, Kimani Ichung'wah, even went out on a podium, said that, that these are the Gen Zs, they come with the phones, they go to KFC, they go, and then they come with an Uber. That is the arrogance that fueled all this anger that you're seeing in people. And then lastly, on the issue of, I come from, this generally this region of Uasin Gishu and maybe Nandi and Uasin Gishu. There was an issue of the Finland scam that happened. There's a case in court. Parents paid for the money. The case is dragging in court. So actually, what you saw in Elred, I think it's more of, it wasn't even more finance bill. It's the anger that has been building up. It's been building up. So people were really angry because they've paid, people sold their land. The issues are still there. Nobody's talking about. We have a case that is in court. It can drag to 5 years. So what happens to the money that is been lost, that someone was going to go to school tomorrow or by next year, maybe they would have graduated. So I think those are the issues that I have. I want you to address in regards to the areas that I have mentioned. Thank you.
Wakili Saruni can speak.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for this opportunity to address you, and thank you very much, the host, Hussein and Osama. My name is Jesse Saruni, or rather Wakili Saruni. I am the president of University Students in Kenya, KUSO. And Your Excellency, I have a few concerns. But first, allow me to give you a background of why, in my opinion, I feel comrades were very disturbed about the finance bill. Your Excellency, if you look at the finance bill 2023-2024, it introduced housing levy at around 3%, which was to be redeemable. However, during public participation, the people, most of the people, including comrades, said that we can start at 1.5%. But without communication, the parliament went ahead and reviewed and made it to be 1.5%, but they removed the clause that allowed people to redeem the savings after they retire. Your Excellency, I would wish to hear from you whether it can be reverted so that this can be redeemable. But as I continue, Your Excellency, I was part of your team during the campaign, and one of the things that we were saying during the campaign, because I actively campaigned using the Kenya Kwanza manifesto, was the 30% of appointments of youth in different positions, and including a youth advisor to the cabinet. However, Your Excellency, currently we have an advisor to the cabinet on women affairs, but we do not have an advisor to the cabinet on youth affairs. I was concerned whether this was deliberately left out, or I was just a little bit concerned with that. Your Excellency, another key concern that affects comrades, around 6,000 graduates went through diploma in law, and this is in regard to career progression. So they did their diploma in law, and they proceeded to do their degree in law. Your Excellency, before 2014, everyone who did their diploma and did their degree in law were able to proceed to the Kenya School of Law for the ATP Advocates Training Program. But the laws were changed in 2014, and this affects around 6,000 university students who are working in law firms and getting underpaid. And I am happy to see that the president of LSK, who is very passionate about issues of youth, is also here. Your Excellency, there is an amendment bill in Parliament that is on the Speaker's desk and has stayed for so long. Your Excellency, this is something that is under the office of the Attorney General. And with the indulgence of the Attorney General, I believe this thing can be, we can find an approach where this thing can be addressed, of course, through the office of the Attorney General, so that these comrades can stop the suffering. They are not able to proceed to self-actualization, because most of them would want to become advocates of the High Court, but they are not able due to that change in the Act of Parliament. Your Excellency, another concern is on students and youth leadership.
Wakili, I really hate to do this, but please, we've only gone through 5 questions. I think there are so many people on attack.
Okay, just one more.
Kindly, we agreed. Yeah, please, kindly.
Okay. Your Excellency, in regards to university students and youth leadership, you can see that we have the National Youth Council, which is constituted. It's supposed to hold elections. And I feel, Your Excellency, the youth feel that they have not been able for a long time to represent their grievances, because they are not able to elect their leaders directly. And this goes back even to the University Amendment Act, which introduced the delegate system, which I feel that the universities have found a way to maneuver so that they make sure that the students who are elected are students who they can be able to maneuver and manipulate. Your Excellency, finally, on the issue of branding, the projects that our members of parliament and all other people has the aspect of when the projects are complete, people tend to brand their names on these projects. Your Excellency, these projects are financed by taxpayers, and it is the request of the young people and the youth that when it comes to branding, we would rather have these projects branded that they have been financed by the Kenyan taxpayer. I will leave it at that, Your Excellency, and thank you very much. But of course, there is the issue of mental health. I appreciate we cannot exhaust all these things in one sitting, but I'm looking forward to more engagements in other platforms. Thank you very much, and I'll leave it at that.
Thank you. The final question of the 3 ex-councillor.
Good evening, everyone. You can hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
My first request to the host and the co-host, please do not give the elected people the chance to speak, one of them a lie and me. You can hear me, Osama? Can you save the time? Elected MPs, any elected official should not take this chance apart from the president. So thank you very much for the time. I have 2 things more. I don't want to repeat a lot of things I'm saying. In the meantime, I just want to address the president. Number 1.
Mr. President, si watakujua huyu askari amekuwa akiwa watu kwa maandamano atashikwa siku gani? Kwa vile amekuwa kirom freely tangu last month, amekuwa tu all over the city. Tulikuwa tunataka kujua atashikwa siku gani, kwa vile ilikuwa inasemekana amekuwa hivyo tangu kitambo na sio wa kwanza. We just need answers about him. Thank you.
Okay, he will answer. He will answer that. Plus, Councillor. Councillor, finish, please. Thank you.
Yeah, my question is to the president. Why is it that the things you're asking about today are not new things? They are things you did promise in your campaign, and the other time you are being played with videos of you saying the same thing. You had to find a way of not listening to those videos. The one thing that you promised us, one of them is corruption. Your people around you, you've addressed this one. You can't tell me out of the 100 people you have around you, 90% are corrupt or have story of corruption, and you are doing nothing about them. I'm a medic by profession, and the issue of NHIF, which is moving now to shift. I read the last 2 days of millions, 300 millions, another 900 million today, disappearing to wrong or fake claims. I'm wondering, if the change from NHIF to shift, will it improve or just another way to get more money for people around your circle to buy houses, buy big cars, and laugh at us? Now, Mr. President,
Councillor,
you are
please.
here.
Those are about 2 questions. Now let's have the president answer. We don't have a lot of time. We have not wengi. They need to ask questions to the president. Please let the president respond to that. If we get a chance, another chance, utauliza swali ya tatu tafadhali.
Very much.
Please.
Thank you very much, good people. Let me start with the gentleman. I didn't get his name from Osop. And that gentleman says we have too many lies flying all over the place. Let me just state. Let me just put it clearly. So many people have spread this story about William Ruto not telling the truth or making fake promises. I made a commitment to the people of Kenya that there will be a hustler fund. Today, there is a hustler fund that takes care of 2 million Kenyans. I made a commitment to the people of Kenya that fertilizer is going to come down. It has come down from 7,000 to 2,500. I made a commitment to the people of Kenya that we will have a housing program. Today, 103,000 houses are being built with 160,000 young people, real people, engineers, architects, quantity surveyors, plumbers, technicians working. I made a commitment to the people of Kenya that we are going to sort out matters in the education sector. Today, we have hired the highest number of teachers in Kenyan history in one time, 56,000 teachers. I made a commitment that I am going to sort out the mess that was in our universities. Today, ask any vice chancellor. With our new funding model, we have sorted out the challenge that was there in our universities.
Well, that is Kenya. I want to ask a question. Those that have Nigeria and the building Nigeria, have you had Kenya? Kenya, oh, this is Kenya. The president humbling himself to the point, attending space gathering of Kenyans. This is not about any setup. It's open space. I was there myself. I'm telling you, I was in this space. That was how I come to know about it. I was in this space. I saw it on YouTube. I thought I entered the space and I was in this space. I was listening. This is not about journalists. It's about Kenyans. Every Kenyan human being, goat, cat, rat, you are eligible to open your mouth and demand for microphone and speak and ask the president, Christopher Ruto, or what is his name? Ruto, I know is Ruto. William Samuel Ruto. That's William Samuel Ruto. And he will answer the question humbly. Kenya, That is Kenya we are talking about. We are not telling you about United States of America. Kenya. Because he have come to realize that the power of Kenya is power of the people of Kenya, actually. It's not the power in Aso Rock. But Nigeria, nobody want a fella say because you be mumu, you don't want talk, you don't want ask. Didn't you see what happened Dopra in Kenya? Didn't you see it? The Kenyan police and the army at their point run because they are scared of releasing those bullets on people. Because when you carry gun shoot anybody, they know you, they go come after you. You no go shoot to make you escape. Are you getting the message? But in Nigeria, even the policeman or the army man where they live opposite your yard, they go come out to shoot you. Nothing there happen. They go cook spaghetti, dance on top. Foolish people. And you go see Aisha Yusuf come and stand up front to tell you, what Nigeria? You go they move with that. I have to stop this program here. It's 1 hour now. I want us to understand that the government you have is what you build. Government is like, I don't know, it's just an institution you build. The way you build it is the way you cannot come and build Nigeria evil forest and expect to have British government or American government. No. They won't. I beg, try and like the video for me.